now present For the Record with Neil Heinen.
The city of Milwaukee wins the bid to host the 2020 Democratic National Convention. That's next on For the Record. I'm Mark Hain, filling in for Neil Heinen. Thanks for joining us on this Sunday morning. This is the first time in the history of this country that a major political party has held its convention in the state of Wisconsin. In fact, it's the first time any party has held a convention in the Midwest since Chicago in 1996. The four-day event will take place at the Milwaukee Bucks' new home, the Fiserv Forum. Over 1,500 events are planned in and around the convention besides the daily political proceedings inside the forum. The convention expected to draw more than 50,000 visitors and have an estimated $200 million impact on the region. Here to talk more about the convention and the red-hot Milwaukee Bucks, we can't forget that, is the team's vice president and chair of the Milwaukee 2020 Bid Committee, Alex Lasry. Thanks for being with us today, Alex.
Thanks for having me.
Let's start at the beginning. What's the seed for this? When did this all begin?
So this all began probably right after the election, and the mayor, Congresswoman Moore, Jason Ray, who's the DNC secretary, and me, just kind of all started talking about wouldn't it be cool to have a convention in Milwaukee, and with the new arena starting to be built in Fiserv Forum, we were like, oh, you know what, this actually might now be possible. So we started to do some digging and found out that, you know what, we actually do fulfill all the requirements. Let's go for it.
149 pages you had to submit. What was all included in that? So
it was very technical. What are the standards of the arena? How many hotels do we have? What's our fundraising plan? But a lot of it was also us telling our story and showing the support that in and around the city and state, and also around the Midwest, that people want the convention in Milwaukee, and that there is a real passion and energy for having it in the Midwest and in Milwaukee in particular.
What were any initial concerns from the committee?
I think for us it was about getting over the hump of these preconceived notions of having a convention in a small city. So, people thinking, okay, could Milwaukee actually host the convention? Do we have enough hotel rooms? Is there the capacity to raise money? And what would it be like hosting in a small city? And so once we were able to, I think, tell the story, get them over these preconceived notions, and show them the hard data that said, we have enough hotel rooms. Fiserv Forum is going to be the nicest arena that you'll have ever done a convention in. Our convention center is big enough to be able to host the convention for what they need. We have the space around the city, and the weather is going to be great.
In July,
yeah. One time we really get to promote our weather. And so once we were able to do that, for me, I think it became a no-brainer.
8 cities initially applied. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think there was about 8, New York, San Francisco.
The usual suspects.
Yeah, so like the big cities, and then, coming down to the final 3 between us, Miami, and Houston. I think what getting this bid showed was that Wisconsin should be on the map and should be in the conversation as one of these major states in a similar way that Florida and Texas are. And not just politically, but as a state that needs to be put on the map and taken seriously as a top-tier premier place to live, work, and play.
I mean, we're seeing video from the forum. If people haven't seen it before, it is spectacular. How much do you think politics had a play in this? Wisconsin's a swing state.
I think it played something more in the fact that it's a swing state and it's politically interesting. But I think the most important thing that they were looking for was, can Milwaukee host something like this? Logistically, capacity-wise, are we going to have any issues? And what they were ended up looking at and seeing was, no, Milwaukee can host this, and it's got all of the bells and whistles that we want, and it's got everything that we're looking for to make sure that we have a successful convention. The swing state and all of that, it's nice, but I think most importantly what they wanted to see was, can Milwaukee do it? And I think what we are showing the world by getting the convention is we can do it, and now more events and more conventions should start looking at Wisconsin as a place that they want to be.
Did members of the committee visit the city?
Yes, so they did 2 site visits, and one in August and then another one back in, I believe it was December. And, they just really fell in love with the city, and I think all that that Wisconsin has to offer.
What kind of comments did they make to you?
One, they said, this is probably the nicest arena that we've seen around. But I think really what they loved was the, how compact the city was, especially the downtown, how easy it is to navigate. When they came in August, the weather was great. They loved also, I think, really the local restaurant scene. And I think what they really are looking for is, for 4 days, people are living here. And even before that, staff is coming in to live here. And I think what they were able to see was this is a place that people are going to be happy. This is a place that people are going to enjoy, and they can see how important and big this is going to be for the city and state.
I think the mayor used the term renaissance. The city's going through that right now.
Yeah, and I think it's undoubtable that it is. You're seeing all of the development that's happening downtown, and that's starting to have ripple effects across the city. You're starting to see a lot of development happening over North Avenue. The Sherman Phoenix is a great redevelopment project that happened in Sherman Park. And I think what you're also starting to see is a lot of people now coming back downtown, even from the suburbs, coming into Milwaukee, and not just for a one-off event, but for really spending time there. And so I think Milwaukee is that quintessential American story. I think it's a real microcosm of what's happening across the country, and I think it's a perfect representation of what conventions are about.
And a facility like the Fiserv Forum, that can spark a lot of this growth. I mean, it's happened in Minneapolis with the Target Center. I mean, how much do you attribute that building and its ripple effect?
Look, I think Fiserv Forum is one of the biggest reasons we have the convention. And I think it's one of the biggest reasons you're starting to see this renaissance in Milwaukee because, the Forum is more than just basketball. You look at our concert lineup, it's one of the top lineups around the country. And so what you are seeing is that Milwaukee is becoming, and I think Wisconsin in general, is becoming a sports and entertainment destination. And it's not just a place where the Bucks are playing or Marquette is playing. It's an arena that is drawing the best acts. Justin Timberlake, Cher, Celine Dion, Elton John is going to be coming, the Eagles, like you name it. People are coming to Milwaukee, and now you're starting to see people from around the country coming to Milwaukee and to Wisconsin to be a part of, I think, one of the biggest entertainment venues across the country.
And the Brewers had a lot to do with that, too. I think last season it really put Milwaukee on the map.
Yeah, I think you're just starting to see Wisconsin having its moment. And this is an opportunity that I don't think we can waste or run away from. I think we want to embrace it and try to figure out, okay, how are we going to reintroduce this state to the country? And what are we going to do to show everyone that this is a place where I want to grow up, I want to live, I can have a great job and live affordably in a city that, I think has all the bones and makings that, any other city has. It's just about time that, we start, I think, promoting ourselves and showing the confidence that, hey, we need to be in the conversations with the Miamis, Houstons, New Yorks, and Chicagos. And we're not, just this, city that's, a northern suburb of Chicago. We're our own great city. And whenever you see, the MVP of the Brewers or the MVP, hopefully the soon-to-be MVP wearing Milwaukee across their chest, that means something. And people are going to start looking at Milwaukee and saying, oh, if Christian Yelich, Aaron Rodgers, Giannis Antetokounmpo love being there and they're a part of it, Milwaukee must be big time, and I want to go take a look.
Three of arguably the best athletes in the country right here.
It's an incredible time, not only, I think, to be living in Wisconsin, but to be a sports fan of Wisconsin, to have arguably the three best players in their respective sports all playing right here.
And this convention is certainly going to open a lot of eyes as well. And we'll continue to talk about the Democratic Convention coming to Milwaukee right after this.
For the Record, sponsored by MG&E, your community energy company.
MG&E, building a community energy company for the future through the power of working together. Committed to cleaner, more sustainable energy, driven by innovation, fostered by shared values. Energy2030together.com.
Hello, folks. I'm Rosalie Michaels, and I'm here with former Dallas Cowboys quarterback Danny White, and we're talking about home safety. Thanks so much for coming in, Danny.
Thanks for inviting me.
I heard that you've been working to come up with an offer to help people protect their homes. Is that right?
That's right. Our mission is to ensure that everyone receives the protection that they need. So we're offering a brand new home security system $850 value, free of charge.
And it's kind of hard to beat free. So tell us about monitoring.
Well, you get 24/7 monitoring for burglar, fire, and medical emergencies from ADT, the #1 home security company in America. And monitoring is about $1 a day. There's no better investment you can make for the things that matter most. The first 20 callers to order will receive a $100 Visa gift card plus 2 wireless keychain remotes free of charge. So call now and we'll help you protect your home.
To get this special offer, call 855-549-1430. That's 855-549-1430.
This is not one of those crossover pretender SUVs. This SUV has best-in-class all-weather capability and up to 31 miles per gallon highway, with a name earned through miles of mud, water, and snow. This is the legendary Jeep Cherokee. Celebrate Jeep Freedom Days with no payments for 90 days and $500 additional bonus cash on our best-selling vehicles.
Or well-qualified returning lessees get a low-mileage lease on the 2019 Jeep Cherokee for $239 a month.
MG&E, building a community energy company for the future through the power of working together. Committed to cleaner, more sustainable energy, driven by innovation, fostered by shared values. Energy2030together.com.
Welcome back to For the Record. We're talking with the Vice President and Chair of the Milwaukee 2020 Bid Committee, Alex Lasry. Thanks for staying with us here. Let's talk about the economic impact. We said at the beginning of the show, $200 million, a direct impact.
Yeah, so it'll be a direct economic impact of $200 million. We're going to have 50,000 people coming into the state. And I think this is something that's going to overflow not just in Milwaukee, but have a ripple effect across the state. People are going to be coming in the week before, maybe staying the weekend after, and people are going to want to experience all that Wisconsin has to offer. I remember in Philadelphia in 2016, I came the weekend before. A lot of people came the weekend before to really experience the city and the state. People were traveling, into New Jersey for concerts and venues. So, I really look at this as an opportunity not just for the city of Milwaukee, but for the entire state of Wisconsin to, really show off. When you have 50,000 people coming in, only, 15,000 can fit inside the arena. There's going to be another 30 to 40,000 people who are going to be looking for something to do at night, who are going to be looking for something to do during the day. And I think this is a real opportunity for Madison to take advantage and show off their city.
And that's your job right now, is the other stuff going on, right?
Yeah, so, there are pretty much two entities. There's the DNCC and the host committee. The DNCC is going to really run the convention. Our job as the host committee is to show off the city and state. We want to look at, when media companies start coming in, we want to take them around the state and show off Wisconsin and try to, really work with them to show that Wisconsin is a destination, and it's a tourism destination. So we'll be working with Sarah Meany on how can we really rebrand the state as a place that, really, I think, advertises to the entire country, and a place that everyone, it has something for everybody. It's got great winter sports, it's got great, summer activities. It should be a year-round destination, not just a place people want to come in the summertime.
So it's going to have a major economic impact on the city of Madison as well.
Yeah, I think it's going to have a major economic impact on the entire state. I just, something this big and this massive, with this many people coming to one area, is going to have ripple effects across everywhere. I imagine, just not because Milwaukee can't handle the hotel space, but I imagine people are going to want to stay in Madison. It's a major city with major companies, and it's the political center of Wisconsin. I imagine people are going to want to be there. There are going to be venture capitalists who are going to be coming in, who are going to probably want to take a look at the burgeoning tech sector that's happening. Research institutions are going to be coming and probably want to talk to, research institutions that are happening here in UW. So, I look at this as a real opportunity for the entire state to reintroduce itself to the entire country.
So you're going to put on a party, and that takes some money.
Yes.
So your job right now is raising money. Part of your, you got a lot of jobs going on.
So, we've got a $70 million budget, and so we've seen tremendous support from the business community already, especially locally, both in Madison and Milwaukee. People really showing up and saying, hey, we know what type of opportunity this is. This is a chance for us to recruit. These are going to be young professionals, college students, high school students coming here, being a part of this and watching it on TV. this is a chance for us to recruit for universities and for potential workers to come into our state. So they've seen that. We're also going to go around the country and try to raise nationally, and that's an opportunity for us, to bring in the Microsofts and Googles and Facebooks to come to Wisconsin and try to preach to them about why they might want to be here and open up some offices here in the Midwest.
I read somewhere this is comparable to 4 Super Bowls in a row.
Who
4
said
days.
that?
Maybe it was you. I mean, it's that big of a deal.
Yeah. So that's essentially what this is. It's putting on 4 Super Bowls in 4 days, and that's why we made took such an intense opportunity to go get this, because we can't host a Super Bowl. We can't host a Final Four. They're only doing those in football stadiums, and they're not coming here in February to play in Lambeau. So, for us, this is the biggest event we're ever going to be able to get, and by being able to host this, it tells the entire country that Wisconsin is able to put on big events and is ready for prime time and needs to be in that conversation. And so, I think this is a big opportunity for us and one that we can't waste.
After the convention, going down the road, you visited other cities that have hosted the convention. What is the impact?
So, in years 2, 3, or 4 after the convention, I mean, look at what happened at Denver. Denver 10 years ago wasn't the Denver we think about it today, this millennial hub that is, one of the fastest growing cities in the country. That is what Milwaukee could use this convention for. It is not going to be the end-all, be-all. Having the convention isn't going to cure all ills and change everything. But it is that first step, and it's that springboard. And so if we use the convention properly, the next 3, 4, 5 years after it should lead to more business, more people taking a look, more tourism, and more people moving here. And that's why I think it's so important that we really think strategically about, okay, how are we trying to position Wisconsin as a destination state?
And the infrastructure leading up to it. New restaurants are going in at the airport. They're sprucing up Summerfest grounds. I mean, that's all part of it.
Yeah, I mean, what this does is it gives us a deadline. It says, okay, the eyes of the world are going to be on us in 2020. What can we do to make this a welcoming place? What can we do to put our best foot forward? And I think you're already starting to see that with new restaurants coming into the airport. You're starting to see that with, I think, new businesses starting to open up throughout the state. And so new hotels going up, new apartment buildings going up. So I think you're already starting to see people getting prepared and saying, okay, I need to make sure I'm ready for when the convention comes here.
You took an abandoned freeway downtown Milwaukee and built this palace.
Yeah, and that's, I think, part of the story that we're trying to tell, which is Milwaukee is having this renaissance. Wisconsin is having its moment, and what used to be 30 acres of just emptiness is now the most lively, energetic place in the entire state. And it's that type of renaissance story that I think a lot of these Midwestern cities, these former Rust Belt cities and states are going through. And I think we're a great microcosm of how these former, big manufacturing hubs have now been moving into the 21st century economy, and you're starting to see that in Milwaukee and across Wisconsin.
And the world will see it come next July.
Exactly.
Can we talk about the Milwaukee Bucks a little bit?
My favorite topic.
Let's do that after the break. Stay with us.
For 2 decades, News 3 Now and Channel 3000 have paid tribute to top-notch teachers nominated by our viewers. Every month, we spotlight and salute an area teacher, and we want to hear about your favorite. If you know a teacher who deserves to be recognized as a top-notch teacher, send us a letter, an email, or nominate a teacher at channel3000.com.
Top-notch teachers, sponsored by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Do you want a truck that does one thing, or a truck that does them all? A truck that's skilled enough to be all-seeing, smart enough to be all-knowing, strong enough to be all-powerful. The all-new Ram 1500, Motor Trend's 2019 Truck of the Year. Come in now during the Ram Spring Sales Event.
Or well-qualified returning lessees get a low-mileage lease on the 2019 Ram 1500 for $279 a month. With
Spectrum Mobile, what you see is what you get. That means no added taxes or fees. Get an unlimited data plan for just $45 a month per line. That includes unlimited talk and text, too. You can save up to 40% on your mobile bill, all with no contracts on America's largest, most reliable LTE network. Spectrum Mobile, the best network, the best devices, the best value. To learn more, go to spectrummobile.com.
Whether your health goal is mobility, independence, or just peace of mind, the iCare Medicare plan can help you get there. If you're a Wisconsin resident on Medicare and Medicaid, call today to enroll in an iCare plan that's right for you.
Coming up Monday on News 3 Now this morning, Hattie will have a look at your work week forecast. And it's Earth Day. We're going to show you how the city of Madison is helping spread its clean and renewable energy goals across the world. That starts at 4:30 on News 3 Now this morning.
Welcome back to For the Record. We're talking about the Democratic Convention coming to Milwaukee, the renaissance that city is experiencing, but also we've got to talk about the Milwaukee Bucks. You're the vice president of that organization. Talk about a renaissance.
Yeah, I mean, these last 5 years, it's been exactly what we said when we bought the team, that in our 5th year, when we move into the arena, we would be championship contenders. But no, it's been an up and down road, I think, over these last 5 years. We've learned a lot, but what Bud has been able to do with this team since he took over, changing the way that we play, turning us into a real modern offense and defense, and really, I think, maximizing and opening up more opportunities for guys like Giannis, Chris, and Bled has really turned us into kind of a juggernaut of the regular season.
60 games you won this season. Yeah,
so this was the first time, I think, in like 38 years that we won 60 games. Best record in the NBA, and best point differential. This Bucks team was a historic team. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. The key is now we've never won anything in the playoffs. We haven't been out of the first round, I think, since 2001. So the new season starts on Sunday for us, and that's going to be our first step in what we hope is a really deep playoff run.
6 o'clock tonight on Sunday, the Detroit Pistons come to town.
Exactly. So we've got, tonight we've got a big game, game 1 of the playoffs, and we're hoping to make a deep playoff run, and as everyone saw, this past weekend, we dyed the river green, which was really exciting, and we're trying to just paint the town Milwaukee Bucks. We want the entire city and state to really be behind us, because our team really feeds off the energy from our fans, and I think it's unlike any other team. When our fans are behind us, we play at that different level, and that's why I think we're so excited to have home court advantage throughout the playoffs, because when we're playing at home, we're one of the toughest teams to beat.
And the fans have responded.
We've sold out almost every game. The playoffs are pretty much sold out. We're going to have 300 to 500 standing room only tickets. I think the atmosphere is going to be electric, and it's going to be something that I think the entire state is ready for. I think you saw what happened with the Brewers run. I really expect Wisconsin to really show out and show up for the Bucks.
It's been almost a generation since we've even considered this conversation. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, this was something that, look, I'd be lying if I said, like, this is exactly what we predicted and what we thought would happen. I think this is beyond, our wildest dreams, that this early and this quickly Wisconsin would have embraced the Bucks in the way that it had. But it's been humbling, and what's also, I think, really great is, our GM has done a great job putting this team together. And you're starting to see all the pieces come together. And, Giannis, I don't know what you can really say about him. He's the league's best player. Yeah. And, again, I think we've spoken about this before. Having guys like Giannis, Yelich, and Rogers all in Wisconsin all at once is a pretty special and remarkable feeling.
Giannis was in Stoughton a couple of weeks ago signing autographs at a car dealership. The line was 1.5 miles long. Yeah,
I think people were waiting like 4 or 5 hours just to have him sign his autograph. And you really see what Giannis has done to this state. And I think what's great about Giannis is he loves Wisconsin.
And he lives in Milwaukee.
He loves this city and state. His brothers, went, and one of his brothers went to high school here. One of his brothers is already still in high school here. He's really taken to the city and state, and he he wants to represent Milwaukee, and he's proud to wear Milwaukee on his chest. And again, I think having a guy like him, an international superstar, really does wonders for promoting the city and state. You know, I know growing up, my favorite players played at Georgetown and University of North Carolina. That's where I wanted to go to college growing up. And hopefully there's now a generation of kids who say, oh, Giannis is playing in Milwaukee. I want to go to Milwaukee and see what that's all about.
He's a good guy, too.
One of the nicest, most humble guys you're ever going to see, but you don't see that on the court because he's a freak on the court, and he will kill you when he's out there if you try to get in his way from winning.
How much did the new form have to do with all of this, do you think?
Look, I think whenever you have, you know, I think for the fans, it's given a much better fan experience, and so I think people are enjoying coming to the games more. I think for our players, it's given them better facilities. You know, this is their office, and we're now trying to give them a state-of-the-art office space. And so, you know, I think it's had a measurable impact. But I think you know, look, the biggest impact is our players and our coaching staff. You know, bringing Bud in was, you know, probably one of the most important free agent pickups that we made. And so, you know, you start to look at that, it all just coming together, and, you know, it's created, I think, one of the best fan experiences and clearly the best team in the NBA.
Milwaukee in the spotlight this week and again in July. You got a lot of work ahead of you.
Yeah, hopefully we have a championship parade and then the convention right after 2020.
It's Milwaukee's time to shine.
Exactly.
Alex, thanks for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Congratulations on everything. That's our time for now. Thanks for watching. Enjoy your Sunday. This is For the Record.
It is nice.
Yeah, but are we a van family?
Are we a van family? Of course you are.
The van just talks.
Sales guy. Is it magic? No, it's a Pacifica. Allow me to do a little self-promotion.
It also comes in a hybrid.
Yo, what's up? Van life. You know you want it.
But does it ever shut up?
Off the lot, baby. I was singing to you on the way home. Pacifica.
During the spring sales event, well-qualified returning lessees get a low-mileage lease on the 2019 Pacifica for $329 a month.
5,000 years of Chinese music and dance in one night. Beautiful, a nimble mastery. An explosion of color and sound. Experience Shenyun. Coming to Overture Center for the Arts, May 7th and 8th. Tickets at shenyun.com/Madison or call 800-800-4410.
Well, it's going to be a beautiful sunny day today, and we can expect much more of the same awards.
Motorcycles are not invisible. But they can seem that way to drivers who aren't paying close attention. Look twice for motorcycles. Seeing them is saving them.
We're now the #1 volume Mitsubishi dealer in the nation. It's time for something big. This month, get a minimum of $4,060 for any trade at City Mitsubishi. We need something bigger. It needs to have max warranty. Our 30-year, 300,000-mile warranty on new and used vehicles. And don't forget about credit amnesty. If you bring home $350 a week, you could get $30 grand in credit. Hey, everybody, it's Matt.
He's born to represent max savings, max warranty, and max credit amount. At City Mitsubishi.
That is our time for now for the Record. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I'm Mark Kane. Neil Heinen returns next week.